Hello, good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the channel. This is Beyond Authentic Witchcraft. My name is, of course, Lisa, and this is where we do some tarot. So if you would like a tarot reading, bear with me just 1 second. I'm going to have to put this in twice. Bear with me. If you would like a tarot reading, we are going to open up the list very, very, very shortly. And that will be done. There we go. We're going to open it up very, very soon. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Can you all hear me okay? Hopefully. What's that? Snap Ed. If you like, oh, there you go. Fantastic. Thank you. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you to the mods. Ed, Patricia, and Neil are here starting off tonight. We will put the details up of how you get a reading in just a minute, but I'm very aware that the YouTube things are still going out. So as I've just put in the live chat there, look, if you would like to help support my moderator, Ed, as he raises funds for an incredible charity, the details are here on the screen. They're in the chat, and about any second now, if I do that, there you go. It's now the pinned. Thank you. It's now the pinned message on the doodah on the YouTube. So if you go into the messages, you'll see it as the pinned message. Good evening to Sad Girl. Good evening to Flower Beauty. Yay, a few people coming in now. I know the notifications are still going out on the YouTubes. So that's basically why we do that 2-minute intro now, is because it takes a while for everyone to get to know that we are actually on the live. So yes. So then when I'm talking about this thing that Ed's doing, he's actually doing this swim event, raising money for a charity called Scuff. And Scuff is an amazing charity. What they do, they work with people who have had some issues in the past and found release for those issues by doing things in this area. I need to be really careful what the algorithm says. So if you think in those areas, and they offer all sorts of advice to people still going through issues, but also practical help for people that have gone through that. Oh, look at this. Just as we start the live, my coffee arrives. Thank you very much. Wow, that's very full. I'm not going to spill it. Thank you. Thank you, gorgeous. That's my gorgeous husband, Rufus. Thank you very much. He's so good to me. He just came on the members only stream. So if you don't know, before we go live, we actually do a members only stream up here for our coffee club crew members. So if you want details of that, it's up there. So he just popped on the stream earlier for about half an hour, completely like distracted me, if you like, completely like we went in a whole different tangent, but that was fine. And he's just made me my lovely coffee. So yes, that's very good. So then we are going to do some tarot readings. Now, before I go any further, I do have to say that tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life, and tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counseling advice. If you're looking for support in those areas, as always, please do seek out a professional in those areas. I do have some experience in certain things. I've got some little qualifications in certain things, but I am not a professional in any of those areas. So if you're looking for support in those ways, please do seek out professional assistance. Right, we're going to start opening up some rounds very, very soon. Now, you might not know what that means, but here, if you want a tarot reading, there are 2 ways to get a reading on this channel. The first way to get a reading is to put your question into the live chat, starting with the word question, and then I will grab one of them at random. Okay. If you are not chosen in those moments, then all you need to do is to copy and select and copy your question, wait till I open up another round, and then put your question in. That's the free way of getting the free readings. However, if you would like to guarantee your reading and also get a longer reading and make sure your reading is the next one read, you can do all of that by going up here to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, where you can buy a Q jump. It costs £4 in the UK, £3 for members if you're one of our members, and then you will get a 6 or 7 card reading a longer reading, and also it will be next. So that is the way to do that if that's what you want to do. Now then, a few people have commented that sometimes I do use bad language. Now, I am very aware of this fact. I am an adult. Everybody here is an adult because you have to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. So just in case you weren't aware, this.
YouTube tarot reader Lisa Lee has been found using bad language during her twice-weekly live streams. In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know. The internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
Yes, indeed. I have been known to use bad language, but we do keep it as authentic as is humanly possible. Right then, just before we officially open a round, let's play the actual channel intro thing. And yeah, let's just make sure that we are fully aware of what we're here for. Hi, I'm Lisa, a practicing liminal witch and tarot reader with over 28 years experience in helping people find guidance through the cards. On this channel I talk about all sorts of witchy, spooky and mystical things that interest me and I hope will interest you too. Welcome to Beyond Authentic Witchcraft. This is a Psychic Sunday session, so let's see what's in store today. Yes, and I know what Neil's going to say. I forgot to change the name of the podcast in the 2 daily ones, so I will fix that for next week. I'll add that onto my list, onto my shopping list with Alexa. Right then, let's go ahead and open up a round. So if you would like a reading, go ahead and put your question into the live chat, starting with the word question, and we'll do that straight after this. Yes, indeed. Right. Let's have a look in the questions. It looks very quiet on the YouTubes on my end. It's telling me I've only got 3 people on. Now, I know for a fact I've got 3 mods and Sad Girl and Flower Beauty. So my front end is obviously not working quite right. I do have a question in from Flower Beauty, so we will get to that straight after this. Jack Griffith, this is proving it exactly. I've just seen your question pop up, so I will grab yours afterwards. I'm going to do a reading for Flower Beauty and then I will do one for you. And hopefully at that point, we'll have a few more people joining on the stream. So then, Flower Beauty, let's get card cam ready. Now, before we go any further, I have rung the big bell tonight. Oh, gosh. What did Rufus just say about spilling my coffee? Oh gosh, hang on a second, everyone. Disaster, disaster. It was very, in my defense, it's very full. Look, it's right to the very top. And I did only just nudge it. Luckily, it's on this side. If it had been on the other side, I would have been absolutely in tears because that's where my cards and everything else are. But on this side, we're okay. We're okay. It's all good. Let's use a... Yeah, as Neil said, please listen, everybody on the live stream, what you share on the internet is on the internet forever. Okay, so bear that in mind. You might not want to share certain information that could come back and bite you on the bum in 5 years' time. Just bear that in mind. Okay, also, please do remember that the way I read tarot is with 28 years of experience. Okay, is it different to the way it says it in a book? Yes. Is it different to some of the meanings that I have for the decks different to the way that you might read tarot? Yes. Is it different to the way that you understand or that a newbie would understand or even somebody who's been reading for 40 years? Yes. Reason being, we are all individual practitioners and the relationships we have with our decks can change deck to deck, let alone person to person. Okay, so just bear that in mind. My readings are with my own experiences, my own connections, the meanings that the cards give me, that the dragons give me. This is not your standard keywords from a little book. That's where they started, and then they've developed over 28 years. So just bear that in mind. Right, we are going to ring the big bell again, just because I think we need to cleanse it after I've just knocked my blooming coffee everywhere. So yeah, you know what I mean. And then we're going to go ahead and swap cameras. Yeah, you swap cameras, Lise. You don't turn your camera off. That might help. Right, there we go. Let's load this back up a little bit. Everything's at a weird angle tonight. Is that the right way round? Oh no. Hang on. It's because I was using this camera earlier. There we go. Is that right? Is that where we normally have it? About there, about there. Now you're picking up the microphone. God. So I've rearranged the desk this week, and I didn't actually move this camera, the card cam. So that's why everything's all a bit... Do you know what? We're professionals here, everyone. We are professionals here. Just remember, we're professionals. Right. Oh, what a good start. I said on the live stream, I said to the mods and the members on the live stream, I said I was feeling discombobulated, and we've started like this. So anyway, right, let's go ahead. Wolf Boyo. Let's get a... not Wolf Boyo. Good evening, Wolf Boyo. I meant to say Wispy, and my brain isn't working. Right, I'm coming off the chat because I'm getting distracted. Here we go. So, Flower Beauty, my darling. Wispy, Flower Beauty would like to know what messages the spirit guides, or the dragons in my case, what have we got for Flower Beauty for this week? What can make her life happier and can make her life better? Let's have a look. So then, once again, we're using the 5th Spirit deck. I will swap to another deck at some point. I just love this deck so much. It's so accurate for me, and it literally speaks to me like arguably no deck has done since the Connolly deck. Even my beloved Vice Versa has not been as connected as this one has been. Right, so then, Flower Beauty, we haven't got a card jump, so it's just going to be your standard 3 card. Nice, simple cut. Absolutely, these cards are telling me instantly that they know what you want to know. Oh, I've got a new cloth. Damn it. I'll have to show that on Tuesday. Right, so we've got the 4 of Wands in the past position, the Queen of Pentacles in the present, and for your future, the 3 of Swords. Ooh, right. So this is something that, hang on. Is it that? Oh, that's interesting. There we go. Finally. I've been twisting it the wrong way. That makes more sense. I always have to remember, you know, sidebar, you know, when you're doing one of those, like on these arms, they've got the I don't even know what it's called. The thing to tighten, where there's the bar and it's got a ball on one end and a ball on the other, and you go like that, and then you do it from the other end. I always forget which way is which. I always have to remember lefty loosey, righty tighty. So you think I'd know that for the camera, but you know, it's fine. Right. So then, Flower Beauty, my darling, 3 minutes of waffling in. This is your reading. 4 of Wands in the past. This is talking about your self-esteem. I think you've been okay this last couple of weeks. I think you've been doing okay. Not fantastic, not great. I think you've been ticking along kind of quite nicely, if that makes sense. I think there's been obviously life hurdles and things, but in terms of your confidence, how you see yourself, how you feel, I think you've been doing reasonably okay. I think it's same old, same old. Now, the thing with this is that you could get maybe stuck in a bit of a rut with some things. You could find yourself just lacking any excitement and wanting something to spark joy on that thingy that you're supposed to clear out your wardrobe and does this spark joy on that thing, right? So it's a good card in terms of status quo. Nothing exciting, nothing dramatic, but everything has just been sort of bubbling under, a bit like a witch's cauldron, just bubbling over, not bubbling over, just bubbling on the surface, keeping everything nice and heated, keeping those frog's legs and those Eye of Newt in control. Do you know what I mean? In the present, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. So I'm wondering if this is representing growth or if this is representing money, because Pentacles can be either, especially with this deck. I see that the Pentacles is so linked in with the earth element, and so linked in with that idea of growth and that idea of, you know, things progressing and things starting as seeds and growing into like huge oak trees and things. That acorns is oak trees, I know that, but you know what I mean, right? That this really does feel like it's a different sort of vibe. So the Queen in this case, thank you, love. The Queen in this case is very, it could be that you are looking for more money, more success, more growth. It's kind of that sort of vibe about it. I think that if this is where you've been, it's almost like, right, okay, everything's fine, but it's time to up things. It's time to up the ante. This card is what's giving me a bit of concern. Okay, so this is the future. Now, again, the way I read, this will be the last 2 to 3 weeks. This is 2 to 3 weeks to come. This is the current 2 to 3 weeks, if you know what I mean. So like there's about 2 to 3 month crossover period between the cards. With the Three of Swords is the heartbreak card. However, this deck is talking about repairing heartache. So you can see that we've got the stab wounds from the Three Swords from the traditional deck, but we've got the needles and threads, and it is repairing the heart. They are patching you up. So it feels very much like if you've gone through a hard time romantically in the past, then it feels like this is starting to bring you back. Does that make sense? If you haven't had heartbreak in the last year or two, then it could be that there is some difficult times ahead in the next 3 or 4 weeks where you're going to go through some shit and then have to look at repairing it. But I get the impression more that this is a time of healing for you, and that's kind of where you need to go to look at this emotional healing. Hopefully that makes sense, my darling. I really hope it does. I'm going to swap back over onto the other camera and onto the, oh, hang on, that's not very good. Onto the live chat. Right, let's have a look and see what the comments say. If I get my glasses, that will generally help, doesn't it? Right, let me have a look. Rabina Sahunter's here. Good evening, Rabina. Flower Beauty says Zoe. What's the guidance? The guidance, Flower Beauty, is that there will be a time of healing coming up. You need to learn to heal from your heartache. That's what the future card is saying. This Queen of Pentacles is talking about where you are currently. So it's talking about growth. So it's basically, I don't think you have recovered. In all honesty, I don't think you've recovered from whatever that heartache was. It feels like that is still being dragged along behind you. A little bit like an old suitcase. You know, if you've got a suitcase on wheels and then 2 of the wheels buckle, and it's so you've got it, but you're still dragging it along behind you. It's like that vibe. So you are still dragging that suitcase behind you. I think there's some stuff there that you need to work through. Right, let me have a little look-see. And God, we've had loads of people come in. Right, let's have a look. So Wolf Boy has popped in. I saw your name pop up just before I did that reading. Hey everyone, sorry I'm late. I've been watching historical documentaries, reading textbooks, online research, and taking notes all at once. Fabulous. You're on a break now. Good. I love the fact you're coming to join us, Wolf Boy. That's fantastic. Jesse, can you ask a question? Just hang on a second. I've got a quick reading to do because I said I would, and then I'll do yours next. Miss Porsche. Hello, Miss Porsche. Again, bear with me just 1 second. General guidance for life issues. Absolutely, my darling. You've been watching the Channel 4 series Becoming Elizabeth. No idea. We've only got Netflix, Prime, Disney, all of that stuff. Hello to Ayushi Awasti. Hopefully I've said that right. Good evening to you. I'm not going to read out those names, Patricia, because, you know, I'll get demonetized. Not even the monetized, because we're not monetized on the channel, but I will get, like, YouTube will hit me over the head. Oh gosh, Wolf Boyo's going to university next year. Fantastic. Fingers crossed for you, my darling. Ayushi, just hold on 1 second, my darling. I'm going to open a round really, really soon. No worries, Patricia. Oh, do I say the Indian? Is that right then? Ayushi Awasti. I said it right, then I've messed it up. Thank you, Flower Beauty. I'll try. And namaste to all of my Indian colleagues from the continent of India, not just the country, if that makes sense. Right then, let me have a look. See, so Jack Griffith, are you still here? Come and say hello in the live chat. This is why we don't do lists anymore. Jack Griffith, if you're still here, you were the one, you popped a question in very, very early, just as everybody else was joining. And I said I would do your reading. So if you're still here, Jack, come and say hello. Good evening to Renata. Good evening. I can't remember what it is. I can't remember what it is. Thank you. Namaste. Jack Griffith, second call. Jack Griffith, if you're here, second call for Jack Griffith. Jack Griffith. And oh, you're here. Fabulous. Right. Okay. I've got your question. I'll do yours. Everybody, we're going to open a round straight after this. So let's go. I need to tighten this up. Look at this. This is not very good, is it? Shall I do it on the live stream? Maybe not, Lise. She says doing it anyway. Right. Hopefully that's not going to destroy the camera. You know what I'm like with technology, everyone? You know what I'm like with technology. Right, card cam. Ooh, here we go. There we go. Is that in a good position now? No, it goes that way, and that goes that way. So it's not at a weird angle. Oh, hang on. Hang on, everyone. I told you I'd mess it up, didn't I? Right, so it's like that. There we go. Hurrah! We got there eventually. Jack, a general reading. No problem at all, my friend. So then, Wispy, we would like a general reading, please, for Jack Griffith. Let's have a look. There we go. Will that go over there anymore? Oh, yeah, a little bit more. And then move that background like that. There we go. Look, is that in the center? Looks about centered. Excuse me, looks about centered to me. So Wispy, Jack Griffith, Griffith, which is, I can say the Indian names, I can't say bloody Griffith. Jack Griffith, it's my teeth, you see. Would like a reading, Wispy, a general reading, please. If you don't know who Wispy is my air elemental. Takes the form of the dragons, as all of my elementals do. The elemental energies I work with for the tarot. Basically sends the messages backwards and forwards to the Akashic records, picks up what we need to know, sends it via the cards. That's my belief system. Other people can believe other things of why the cards have the knowledge. And again, just remember, everyone, that this is my interpretation of the deck with my own 28 years, getting on for 30 years, don't even think about it, of experience in reading the cards. So yes, I am a well-seasoned card slinger at this point. Now, you might have different understandings of what the cards mean for you. You might have different books that tell you different things, or, you know, what for me means one thing might mean something else in your book or your deck. That's absolutely perfectly fine. For me, each deck slightly varies the card meanings because we have a different understanding with each deck. And this is just my understanding of 28 years of doing this. So let's go. So swords and swords. Jack, bloody hell, Jack, what are you going through, my friend? Why is that such a weird angle? Jack, there's a lot going on, my darling. So in the past position, we've got the Nine of Swords reversed. Now, the Nine of Swords, so for me, swords is trouble and strife, okay? The fact you've got a 3-card reading and you've got 3 swords means that I don't think it's been the easiest of time, and I think you're going through quite a bit at the moment. Now, the Nine of Swords, 9 for me is the finishing point. 10 is overflowing, okay? So if you see the 9 in the deck, it's like that's when it's full. When we get to the 10, it's flood season. So 9 is, I think there's a lot of shit that's come your way in the last period of time. I think this has been going on for a while, but it's really come to a head maybe in the last month or two. Now, I don't think it's you that started this. I don't think it's you that's caused this. This feels very much like it's been brought to your door by somebody else because of this reversal. And it feels like you're a little bit at sort of 6s and 7s as to know how to process it, because if I show you it the right way, well, it doesn't really matter which way up, does it? Either way, you've got a saw, you've got a meat cleaver, there's a hacksaw, a normal saw, a shaving blade. If I use that word, then again, YouTube's not going to flag this for inappropriate content. A needle, is that a switch blade thingy? I don't know what that is, but anyway, a blade, another blade, and a sickle. So there's lots of different implements, right? So the way that I read this is that this is lots of different trials and tribulations coming your way, lots of different obstacles, lots of different challenges. Some are small, like a little pin prick, a pin here, a needle here. Some are much bigger, like a dagger, and then you've got the big buggers like a meat cleaver and a scythe. So it's like there's a lot of hurdles that you're being forced to overcome at the moment that have been brought to you. It then feels that at the moment you're getting through it, right? It's not great, but you are getting through it. You're coping. Now, the reason I'm saying that is that we've got the 6 of Swords. Now, if I show you the card, anytime we see water, we're talking about emotions, okay? So even though this is Swords, there's an emotional element to this card. But we've got your boat, and your boat is doing okay. Surprising, because we've got these giant nails and screws, almost like swords, going into the base of the boat. But what we've also got are these, I think they're Canadian geese, they might be ducks. We've got these waterfowl, again, birds, who are flying in formation and are showing you the way to go, or this is you finding your way forward. Okay, so even though your boat, and if we look inside the boat, you can see there's water inside the boat, so it's leaking, but you're still going at the moment, right? There is still a direction to go. You are still managing to keep going at the moment, despite everything that's happening. Now, the 6s for me talk about community and wider groups of people. So it feels like you've got people around you that are being a bit more supportive. But then you've also got coming up in the future. So this is a good card. Out of all of these swords, this is the best one, okay? Because it feels like you have got some support around you right now. But then we go to the future. We've got the 8 of Swords reversed. Now, 8 of Swords is all about truth coming out, knowledge coming out. You are going to discover something. There is a journey here that you need to go on that is going to start with having this tape, which is wrapping around all of these scissors. This tape is going to be cut. So the way to think of it is, if this tape is like a blindfold or something covering up, once it's cut, you are able to release it. You are able to see the truth. Now, this is also reversed in your reading, in your spread. Now, this is saying to me that, again, you are going to find the answers. You are going to find your way through these hurdles that you've been dealing with. But it feels like it's going to be, it's like the way forward is almost going to be, I think the way through is going to be as tough as the situation you've gone through. Does that make sense? It almost feels like the only way out of, I don't know, a burning house is to crawl over thorns and rose bushes and prickles, and you know what I mean? It's like, yes, you're escaping this, but in so doing, there's more to come. Do you know what I mean? But it's temporary, because this is the revelation. This is the idea that everything will be revealed. So hopefully, my darling, hopefully, although you got 3 swords, which is why I've gone into it in a bit more detail, hopefully that makes a bit more sense. So yeah, hopefully. Right, let's swap back to the other camera. There we go. Move that one out of the way. So there you go, Jack. Hopefully, my darling, that makes sense. It does feel very much like the universe is testing you at the moment, my darling. But I also feel that you will be fine. I feel that you'll get through this. You might end up with the odd bit of scarring. You might end up with the odd bit of, you know, some longer term damage and all of that, but you will get through this in one piece, more or less. You just need to keep going, and hopefully, my friend, that makes some sense to you. Right, let me have a look at them, and let me have a look in the comments. Guten Abend, thank you very much. Thank you, Patricia. I know, right? Do not touch any electrics. So yes, thank you very much for that. Oh, you had a question, but you answered it yourself, Renata. This is it. I did that the other day. I was like, oh, got my cards out, read what I needed to read, and then was like, stupid cow. Of course it is. Not that I'm saying that you are in any way that way. You understand the witches' runes, but there's only 13 of them. Do you know what? I cannot get on with runes. Oh, thank you, Jack. I hope it helps, my friend. I really, really do. I really hope it helps. Just keep going. Just keep persevering, my darling. You'll get through it. You really will. You will get through. Right then, everybody. So we're going to open up another round very shortly. Oh, gosh. Took my glasses up and now I can't see anything. I'm blind as a bat. That's really... Woof. Everything's got super blurred. If you want a reading, there are 2 ways to get a reading. How would you get a reading on this channel? The easiest way, the only way to guarantee that you will get chosen, is to go up here, buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic. That's also where our channel memberships are. You can support the channel from £3 a month if you don't want any of the perks. If you want to get videos a day early at least, other bits of information, things we're doing, members only chats, all of that, then go ahead and join the membership up here on the £5 option. If you would like to queue jump to make to basically guarantee your reading is read next, and to get a longer reading, you can do that up here as well for just £4 in the UK. So hopefully that will make sense. All right then, my darlings, let's have a little look-see. Let's go ahead and open up a round. So it is time. If you want a question, go ahead and put your question in the live chat, starting with the word question, and I will go ahead and pick one of them at random, unless you do the queue jump option. Either way, it's time to get your questions in now. Yes, indeed. Hopefully we've got some questions in. I've seen it said there's some comments in. Now, as you all know, if you've been here before, I'm half blind without my specs on. With my specs on, I can see okay. And especially when I'm looking at the screens, because I've got a ring light and everything else here, it's quite bright in this room. So it is genuinely random. All I do is I hover the mouse over the doodah, and I scroll up and down and pick one of them at random. So that's what we're going to do. Hopefully I don't click on another screen that brings up something else, because I have a habit of doing that. Or instigate a private chat, because I do that as well. So then we're going to go with this one here. No, that's me posting a comment. Right, this one here. Here we go. Up and down there. That one. Oh, I've done it again. Hang on. Sorry. I'm trying to do this in the fairest way possible without looking at the screen. This. No, this. Miss Porsche. Is that what that says? Miss Porsche. No, it is Porsche. Miss Porsche. Question. What are Pio's intentions and feelings for me. Right, I can read it. Once I click on it, it goes blue with white writing, which I can see much clearer because it's not as bright. Right then, my darling, what are Pio's intentions and feelings towards me? Let's have a little look. So then swap the card cam, bring the card cam back in, and we are going to ring the bell. I can ring your bell, ring your bell. There we go. It's got its own little holder now as well. Look, little holder. It's so cute, sis. Right then, let's have a look at the reading. So then, Wispy, Miss Porsche would like to know, what are Pio's or Pio's intentions and feelings for them? That's all. I don't know whether you saw then. We've got a card that's flipped right at the very back. We've got the Hierophant. Right. So this is your clarifying or modifying card, Miss Porsche. Now, what the Hierophant stands for, in a lot of decks, it's the religious leader. It's, excuse me, thought of like the high priest or the pope. It's that sort of vibe. Okay. In this deck, it's a bit more of a guru, a bit more of a scientist, a bit more knowledgeable and learned. So it's talking about education, but it's also talking about a particular way of doing things. Okay, so this is basically talking about, you can see here we've got A to E. There's a very definitive way of doing things. Now this is reversed, which is saying that in this instance, in coming up as your, hang on, let me, no, that way. There we go. Now it's nice and even. In your reading, whatever's going on, there is a lack of structure, a lack of organized sort of 9 to 5, A to Z type structure going on at the moment. So we'll look into that a little bit deeper as we go through what Pio's intentions or feelings are towards you. Could also be, again, take this with a pinch of salt until we get the cards, but it could also relate to marriage. And the reversal could be that Pio does not want a marriage or is somehow already connected with a marriage, because sometimes the Hierophant can lead towards that. Right, let's have a look. 5 of Swords in the past. Pio's intentions towards you. So 5 of Swords where you are now. 2 of Swords for what you need to know. So this is telling us what Pio is maybe thinking. And the 10 of Wands. All right, my darling. Right. Okay. Okay. So let's be brutally honest. These are not great cards for a romance reading. So I don't know whether you are in a relationship with Pio. I don't know whether it's that sort of vibe, but it's definitely not. There we go. Look, if I bring that a little bit further up, you can see the cards. It's definitely not a romantically suited spread. So where you are now, 5 of Swords. If I show you it this way up, the 5 of Swords, this is very indicative of the 5 of Swords. Okay, so 5 is change, upheaval, and to a certain extent struggle, and the Swords is the suit of struggle. It's the suit of, oops, sorry, I've just left the banner on, haven't I? There you go. It's the suit of difficulties, challenges, obstacles, all of that. Now the 5 is normally linked in with the end of a battle, end of a war, end of a disagreement. And you can see these blades have been put in the sand, and it's almost like the victor has picked up the blades from their fallen, stuck them in the sand, and has put the flag there to mark, or the pennant to mark, this was where the battle took place. We won. Hurrah, look at us. Right? But this is reversed, which means I think that this battle isn't something that you are wanting to go through, not necessarily something that you are instigating at the moment, if that makes sense. So it really does feel like there is this element of kind of shit being brought to your door. Does that make sense, Miss Porsche? Like there is stuff being brought to you to deal with that isn't from you. Does that make sense? And it's kind of bringing that upheaval with you. And again, with this Hierophant coming in, it really does feel like Pio's intentions are maybe not great. Okay, so why am I saying that their intentions are not great? Because this is what you need to know. This is your clarifying card. This is what you need to know. And we've got the Two of Swords. We've got cross swords, cross words. This is a card of conflict. This is a card that's talking about two people disagreeing, two people that are not on the same page. So if you and Pio are in a romantic relationship, then I think you want different things. Okay, if it's not a romantic relationship you're in, then again it feels almost like the two of you are not bumping uglies, but you're bumping heads. Does that make sense? It feels very much like there is not a positive connection here. It feels like this is quite a difficult connection. And then in the opportunity, we've got the Ten of Wands. Now, in the opportunity position, this has given us an insight into what's happening or what might happen. And it's interesting that we've got the Ten of Wands with a reverse Hierophant, because the Hierophant knows a lot. The Hierophant knows so much, but the Ten of Wands brings in the arrogance. Okay, so Ten of Wands, Nine of Wands, super confident. Look, I've got all this knowledge. I'm really good at what I do. But also I'm willing to share that knowledge, teach you, show you, guide you, all of this. The 10 is like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Actually, don't question me. I know what I'm doing. I've learned this. I've got all this knowledge. I'm doing this my way. I know everything. So the Ten of Wands is very arrogant. So this is really, if this is a relationship you're wanting to be in, again, you make all your own decisions about your own life. But my advice, such as it is, would be no. This is like a giant red flag. If this is a relationship you were in, then I think there's still some really strong ill feelings here from Peo. And it's almost like I get the vibe, and there's nothing in the cards about this, but I get the vibe where it's like, no, but you are mine. Like, you're mine. You can't do your own thing. You're mine. So what I would say, basically, my darling, is his intentions are not honorable. They are not great. His intentions are not good. If you're in a relationship with this person and you think it's going well, then maybe have a look at, maybe just have a look at where they disappear to. If they do, it feels very much like there is a lot of negativity here with this. And all I would say, my darling, is just be really, really, really careful, because there's just a lot here, a lot going on. And it doesn't feel like this is a positive person at all. But again, you make all your own decisions about your own life, and some of us love a bad guy, don't we? Some of us do. We do love a bad guy. Right, I'm going to swap over to the other camera. There we go, and have a look in the live chat. Oh, no, that's Patricia. Sorry, that's Renata talking to Patricia. Thanks, Ed. I didn't see that. The guy is egotistic. Sounds like him. You attach to him and are struggling to move away from him. Absolutely. And it does make sense. Thank you, Miss Porsche, for that confirmation. It really does feel like yeah, that's energy you don't need in your life. I am going to, by the way, I know I keep talking about it, I am going to film, hopefully this week, depending on how the fibro treats me, I'm going to film some videos this week on how to cut ties with someone you've been in a relationship with, how to get over broken hearts, things like that. Some little witchy videos for this channel, so do keep an eye out on that. They'll be going up at some point in the future. What I have got coming up on this channel later tomorrow is, because it's Halloween season, the shops here in the UK have started to get their Halloween stock in. So there's a video going up tomorrow. I went along to B&M, which is a bargain retailer here in the UK, and I went along and had a look at all of their Halloween content, and what they've got in and what I thought was any good, and if I wanted to pick some of it up. And if you want to know what that's all about, that will be going live at 10 o'clock on Monday. On Wednesday, there'll be another video going live, and the members will get access to that tomorrow. Right then, so it's time for another reading. If you would like a tarot reading, please go ahead. What you need to do is put your question into the live chat, starting with the word question. Put it on the ticker tape just there, look at the bottom. If you've already put your question in, you need to do it every time I open a round. Reason being, I can't go back and search, and because people that put questions in at 7 o'clock won't still be here necessarily at 10 to 8 or 8:30 or 5 to 9. We go through till 9 o'clock p.m. UK time. And yeah, the only other way to get a reading is to go ahead and pop over to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, where you can pick up a queue jump for £4 in the UK or £3 if you are one of our lovely members. And you can then get yourself a reading, which will be next. That's the only way to guarantee a reading, and I also do you a longer reading. So anyway, it is time. Take one of those two options. Go ahead and do that right about now. More readings coming up after this. Indeed, you can queue jump at buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic. Right, I've seen we've got some readings in. So then I'm going to go up and downy, uppy downy, uppy downy, uppy downy, and we're going to, hang on. I was about to click on Patricia's. Right, so hang on, let me have a look. Is that one in there? Right, okay. So I'm going from that one to that one. So here we go. Uppy downy, uppy downy, uppy downy, uppy downy. I'm trying not to look. Uppy downy and click. Rabina Sahunter. Rabina, hello, my darling. Question, general reading, thank you. No problem at all, my darling. Hang on. I've opened up a private chat, which, how do I get off this screen? The first thing I clicked, I opened a private chat. No. Comments. Oh, gosh. It's so complicated doing this way, but it's the only way we found, you know. We tried a different system the other week and it did not work. We tried it with the members only live and it did not work at all. We tried. Right then, Rabina, my darling, a general reading. We can do that for you. Let's swap over to CardCam. So then, Wispy, I know, right? People say, why don't I just stick it on CardCam all the time? Because I want to see my lovely face. I want you to see me lovely face. I do my makeup every Sunday just for this. Not that I'm narcissistic. No, it's because sometimes we need to make eye contact. And sometimes it would feel terrible. If I'm giving somebody bad news, or if it's not a reading that they want to know, sometimes it's not good. Do you know what I mean? To just do it with a blank, these are the cards. It feels a bit too impersonal. So anyway, Wispy, Rabina Sahunter, who is a long-term friend of the channel, thank you very much, would like to know a general reading for the next block of time, please. So just a general reading. So what we'll do, Rabina, is we'll do the past, present, future, the standard 3-card thingy, if that makes sense. Right then, let's have a little look. It's going to go there. Oh, hang on. We've got a waterfall drop. Is it going to go one more time? Hey, I thought it would. I could feel it itching. It's really weird because on your thumbprint, you know, you've got your skin on your thumbprint. I can feel when the cards are like sliding down the ridges on my thumbprint. Right, so that was the top, that was the bottom. It's really strange because sometimes I'll say, oh, I can feel it going, and the cards just look solid, but I can feel it on my thumbprint. Right, so we've got the Knight of Pentacles, the 7 of Swords, and the 10 of Pentacles. My darling, all of these are reversed. So this isn't going to be the best of news, we think. But let's have a look. So in the past, the Knight of Pentacles. Could this be a work career thing? In fact, I'm going to do something I don't normally do. Where's the live? Hang on. There we go. Rabina, is this is this, my darling, is this a work situation or a financial situation? Because we've got 2 pentacles that have come up. Okay, so this could well be, this would normally be connected in with money or finances, so, or work. It could be that. Now, if there's something going on work-wise that is troubling, that's a really good word, Lise. Well done. If there's something work-wise that's troubling, or that you're struggling with, or troubling at the moment, then troubling, new word, put it in the Lisa dictionary. Then that would make sense, because in the past, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Now, the Knights are that teenage rebellious energy for me. So this is that energy where you're a housewife, but is there a financial element happening? Is there something financially? Because Pentacles is normally connected to money, work, career, finances, that sort of thing. It's the strongest link. It can also relate to the earth energy, earth elemental, because we've got this vibe of, you know, things growing and progressing. But anyway, let me go through the reading. So, Knight of Pentacles. Knights are the rebellious teenagers. Thank you. Thank you. See, I knew it was. Instantly, as soon as the cards came up, my darling, I was like, this is money. This is money. There is a money thing here. Right. The Knight of Pentacles, in the past, there's been some decisions that have been a bit bonkers, right? A little bit bad decisions financially, because this is reversed. Knights for me are teenage rebellious energies. It's that energy of, do you know what? I'm not thinking about the future. I'm going to go ahead and do this now because I want to do this now. This is the sort of card where, and it doesn't have to be a teenager, it's somebody with that teenage energy. Okay, so it could be somebody that's gone, do you know what? I'm going to get a credit card. Doesn't matter, I'll pay it off later. And then they've racked up a, you know, £700,000 credit card bill and can't pay it off. Or someone's gone, you know, oh, it's fine, I'll quit my job because, you know, we don't need it, I don't need that. And then all of a sudden down the line, it's like things are starting to bite. It's that sort of decision that's been made, where you've got that vibe with that difficult decision, if that makes sense. In fact, yeah, hang on, let me take it off the doodah. There we go. So that difficult decision and that energy where it is literally like, why the hell have you done that? What the living F have you done? That does not make sense. So yeah, there's that going on. I don't think it's something that is little either. I think it's going to be a bit of a headache for you, my darling. And it's not you. You haven't done this. This has been brought to you because all 3 of these are reversed. So it's somebody in your family or somebody that's close to you that has done this. And now it's like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. That's really not good. In the present, we've got the 7 of Swords. Swords is your obstacles and challenges suit, right? Now, I question whether this is one of your kids, because we've got teenage energy here, and we've also got, I know I might be leaping at connections here, but we've got one of the eggs here is hatched. Now that to me, I don't know why, but it's absolutely giving me this vibe of it's something one of the kids has done. It feels like that. It might not be, but anyway. The 7 of Swords. So 7s for me are a sign that something is missing. And the Swords is, again, there's lots and lots of issues happening, a lot of obstacles in the way right now. But it also feels like in this instance, whatever's been done money, somebody is overspent. Somebody has seen something pretty and shiny that they wanted, and that's what they've gone for. And it feels like you are this mother magpie here trying to keep the nest together, which is good, but it must be bloody hard work for you right now. It must be really hard work trying to keep everything kind of ticking over and keeping the nest together when you've got all these sharp pointed blades coming in. Again, I wish I could say that in the next 3 to 6 weeks things would improve dramatically, but I'm not sure I can. But it might not be totally shit, right? Let me explain. So in the future, which again is 3 to 6 weeks, I sort of see, we've got the 10 of Pentacles. Now for me, again, Pentacles is money and the 10 is overflowing. Now this is reverse. So this could be two things. This could be that there is a positive money element coming back in to your life. Okay. So if you've been doing, if there has been some changes being made and a way of, if there's been an attempt to change and to actively overcome these obstacles by doing something to bring more money in, then this could be a positive. Okay, even though it's reversed, it could be that somebody, whoever's responsible for this, is trying to correct their mistake and is going to bring some more money in to kind of offset that. The reality is, my darling, it could also mean that there is more financial issues to come. I think my gut, hang on, do I? Yes, I do. Right. My gut is telling me that, I'm getting the dragon out. My gut is telling me that actually things are going to improve. But they're going to improve because whoever's done this is actually going to get off their backside and try and correct it. I know I'm being really harsh, but let me slide him across. Here we go. I wasn't going to do pendulums tonight, everyone, and I'm not going to do pendulums tonight, everyone, but I just want a little bit of confirmation on this. And oh, I don't know why I'm closing him back up, but there you go. So you sit there, my darling. Right. So Wispy, what we want to know for certain, right, is this 10. Now we're going to do the standard Wispy. So if it's a positive, I want a backwards and forwards. If it's a negative, then I want an O, right? A circle. So if it's a positive, I want a backwards and forwards. If it's a negative, I want an O. Right, now it's going to take a little while. I'm trying to hold it as steady as I can. It will take a little while for it to get the movements. That's my hand shaking because I've got my elbow on the desk. So then, Wispy, is this 10 of Pentacles? Is this a positive outcome for Rabina? Right, don't get worried yet because it always starts off in a circle. And you'll see in a minute, it will get bigger than the card itself. And when that happens, it will either start going backwards and forwards if it's positive, or if it's negative, if it's a no, then it will go round and round. Right, so it's got to the size. Oh. I think it is positive energy, Rabina. I think it is positive. I think it is positive. Okay, okay. That is very clearly a backwards and forwards. Very, very clearly a backwards and forwards. So yeah, I think that is a positive, right? So I think this energy coming in. Thank you, Wispy. Thank you. I think I absolutely get the feeling that this is positive. It's a strong yes. Oh, hang on. Right, I've clicked on the doodah. Let me just swap cameras. Right, yeah, I think it's a positive change. I think it's a positive change. Right, let's have a look at the chat. What I just saw a comment there. No kids, just your husband, Michael, and you at home. You were tricked by your mum involving money and gold. Ah, jewelry. And then this is you as the kid. This is the child link. This was you as the kid. You are the kid. You are the kid that's hatched and flown the nest. That makes sense. Trapped by you, which put you in a bad place. Right, my darling. I think if she's trying to, it's a change coming with money. Yeah. If she's trying to sort this out, then it needs to be sorted, but it does feel like it's going to be more positive moving forward. It absolutely does, my darling. It absolutely does. That makes so much more sense when it's your mum, because we've got this. Look at this. Look at the jewelry element, and even in here, look, even inside the nest, we've got all of the jewels, and there's a ring. There's a nut and bolt as well, but there is actually a sparkly ring and all sorts. And then this one chick has flown the nest. So yeah, well, the egg is hatched and it's flown the nest. So yeah, fingers crossed, my darling, that in the next few weeks things will improve, because it's certainly, that's what the cards are screaming at. And then that was a very, very big definitive. You heard it clicking against the tin there. So yeah, sometimes with a tarot reading I could pull extra cards. It just felt right to do that with a pendulum. So there we go. She took your vast gold jewelry collection. Oh shit. Oh, Rabina, that's not good. Hopefully you get things sorted. Family, well, I mean, I don't even speak to my sibling, and we call them a sibling because it's the nearest thing I can get to distancing myself from somebody that I share blood and DNA and, you know, two parents with. So it's not even like it's a bloody a previous sibling. Sad girl, you post every time you say post. So do lots of people, my darling, and I scroll up and down at random and just grab onto one of them that's at random. You've been here before, you know how it works, and you know that literally as I click on, I click whatever's there. So it's there's no, like, once my specs are off and once I'm scrolling on the mouse wheel, on the doody thing, this thing, the pinwheel, is it called a pinwheel? I don't know what it's called. But once I scroll up and down on that, I just click. So it's totally at random. The only way you can guarantee a reading, my darling, is by going over here to buymeacoffee.com/beyond authentic. That's just the way we do it on this channel. If you disagree, if you want to go, like, find another reader who will do readings, you know, and have a list that goes on all the time, and you just go and join that list, then feel free, my darling. But we did that. It didn't work for the channel. It didn't work for the viewers, the subscribers, and that's why we made the change to this way. So yeah, if you want to guarantee a reading, that's the only way to do it, other than putting it in every round. And I have read for you in the past, sad girl, and so you have been picked in the past, so it does work for everybody. It's at random. Right then, just before talking about things that are random, just before we do go on to the next lot of readings, I am going to hit this. Now listen, I am not paid to promote these two small businesses in any way, shape or form. I just love the people behind them very much. They happen to both be mods. They've both got small Etsy businesses, and I think they are absolutely wonderful people. So if you would like witchy items, or if you're into horror, especially the schlock horror, bottom of the shelf horror, Neil, I found a couple of films on Amazon Prime Video that we need to react to when we get a bit closer to Halloween, because they are atrocious, and I can do a watch party thing and we can record it. It'll be very funny. But anyway, if you like horror films and witchy items, this, I'll be opening up a round straight after this, so go ahead, put your questions into the live chat now. We'll be opening a round straight after this.
Are you a fan of 80s horror but want something different? Do you like modern horror but the regular magazines leave you a bit cold? Are you a fan of that schlocky horror that no one else seems to talk about? Check out Necronomicon, the UK horror zine from Etsy.com. Just search for Necro Neil. Blue Chalice is a small business making crafty creations for the witchy community. From jewellery to wall hangings, witch bells to altar tiles. Why not have a look at bluechalice.etsy.com.
Okay, I don't even know. I was about to say, I don't even know where my glasses are. Sorry, I just took a slurp of coffee and it went all down my cheek. I mean, as if my mouth isn't big enough. How the hell? I don't even know how that happened. Literally all down my cheek. That's good. To apologize. That's generally what I do when I play those video idents. I take a drink of my coffee, so that way anybody with misophonia or what's it called, not an affinity, the opposite of an affinity, a sensitivity to those mouth noises, doesn't have to deal with me slurping my coffee. But I will say I'm looking into some of those earpluggy things to help with that, so I'm going to test them out. If I buy some, I'll let you know which brand I buy and how they work on a video coming up. Right then, let's have a look at the questions. We've got some questions in. Right then, here we go. No, hang on, I need to take the banner off. Hang on, I'm not on the right screen. Let me have a look. Right then, so if you would like a reading and you put your question in, I'm going to grab one at random. I'm just up and down here on the what is it called? Can somebody put in the live chat, right? Just incidentally, because it's going to really bug me. Or mods, can you send it on WhatsApp? What is the wheelie thing on a mouse called? It's not called a wheel. There's another name. Is it a scroll wheel? It's not a pinwheel because that's the thing you blow. It's really bugging me. And my ADHD will not let me move on from it. So I'm up and downy, uppy downy, and that one. Hang on, I can't read it. Oh. No problem, Rabina. No problem at all, my darling. I hope that helped. Wasn't even a question. Right, here we go. Uppy downy. And we're going to, hang on, a mouse wheel. Is it? I don't know. Right, we're going to that one. Please say this is an actual question. Rosie, how will my meeting go with a manufacturer about a product I'm working on? Oh, interesting. Also, I've just saw Ellis Dodd. Good evening, Ellis. Are you the Ellis that I met? My brain's saying it is, but I might not be. Good evening, Ellis. Right, a scroller, mouse wheel. I don't know. Maybe there's not a name for it. I had this one night. Does anyone remember? I'm going to do your reading now, Rosie. I'm just putting my feet up on my cushion thing. Does anyone remember one night I was stuck? Oh, no, you won't remember. Scroll wheel. Thank you. So nobody will remember this but Neil, because nobody else was involved but Neil. Right. Me and Neil were sat one day when he was over here, right? And we were talking about, not Star Trek 2, Lisa, Hellraiser 2, and what the thing was called in the Hellraiser Hell world, right? There's this like shape thing, and I was saying it was in the labyrinth, but there was a different name for it. And what was it called? It was called something, and it had a name, and the thing had a name, and it turns out it was Leviathan, Neil. I had to put the film on to watch that the thingy was called Leviathan, and it was in a labyrinth. That's what it was. But do you know how long it took me? I was Googling, I was scrolling, and in the end I just got the video off the DVD off the shelf and put the video on, put the film on. That's how bad it is, right, with my ADD. Anyway, none of you care about that, but yeah. So there is a name for the wheelie thing on the mouse. Shock wheel, something wheel. I don't know. Maybe we'll just call it mouse wheel. Don't know. Anyway, my brain is really, really bugging me. If you're watching this on the live, hang on. Yeah, hurrah! If you're watching this on the live, please do come up with a name. If you can, please do come up with a name, right? It doesn't have to be the real name. What am I doing? What the hell are you doing, Lisa? Click on the sodding thing. There we go. Right? It doesn't have to be the right name. It can be any name. Let's just give it our own name. We call it the dragon wheel, the picking wheel. Right, Wispy. The lovely Rosie has had to wait 5 minutes while I talk about Wheels, Star Trek 2. Why is Star Trek 2 in my head? Hellraiser and all sorts of stuff. But Rosie would like to know how their meeting will go with a manufacturer about a product that Rosie is working on. Sounds very interesting. Rosie, if you ever need reviewers and product testers and all of that stuff, let me. I don't even know what the product is, but let me know, because I want to be one of those channels that has sponsors and has like, oh, I got sent this in PR. That's what I want. I want to be. We're not even monetized. I know that you might think we're monetized because adverts come up, but the adverts come up thanks to YouTube putting adverts everywhere. And although we've got over 1,000 subscribers, we don't get monetized because we haven't got 4,000 hours of watch time. Because as you can see on the live stream tonight, this is your cut, Rosie. As you can see on the live stream tonight, people pop in and pop out. Where's it going? Where's it going? Oh, right in the center. Look at that. Oh, hang on. No, it's not moving. Right in the center. Cool. So then, how will your meeting go with the manufacturer? This is the situation. 9 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, famine or feast. The obstacle. The Page of Wands. Ooh, okay. And the outcome. Oh, Judgment. Right. Okay. So, Rosie, as you all probably all know, this on this channel, we don't sugarcoat. We tell it as it is. This is like your best mate trying to give you advice, right? Especially with this deck. I love this deck. So in the situation, we've got the 9 of Pentacles reversed, which means I don't think you've got a lot of money going into this, right? It doesn't feel like it's Rosie Incorporated or Rosie Limited. It doesn't feel like you've got a big money backer, right? Reason I'm saying that is the Pentacles in this case is talking about finances, but it's got this sort of famine or feast vibe about it. Look, if I show you it this way up, there's all this food on the table that's been laid out. You've got like nice cheese board. I wish I could eat all of that. I think it's supposed to be caviar. There's fruits. There's suckling pig or whatever that is. There's a snail. I've just seen a snail. That's the. Do you know what? I've had this deck for a couple of months now. There's a bloody snail. Okay. And it's not even cooked. But so you've got all this lovely food, wine, and everything, but your plate is empty. So it's talking about famine or feast. Even these glasses are empty, right? So it could be that all of this is coming your way, but at the moment your plate is empty. And the fact that this is reversed means that I think you're going into this in a position. This meeting is going to be that you are going to be in a position of disadvantage. Okay, so just bear that in mind going in. Now, it doesn't mean that you by the way, everybody, I don't know if anyone's commenting. I can't see comments until after the reading, till I change the camera back. So I don't know whether this is a financial thing where it's going to be like you expect to maybe make 10,000 units and the factory or the manufacturer says the minimum is like 250,000 units, you know, something like that, and you just haven't got the money to get that up front. Or, you know, whatever it is, it does feel like you're at a bit of a financial disadvantage, my darling. So if you can work that, work it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? There's this thing called marketing judo where you can leverage your opponent and you can leverage it by being the smaller one. Like sometimes it's better. I love being a small YouTube channel because it means I haven't got all the restrictions that large YouTube channels have. We can be more personal and I can be more interactive, and we can do these readings that aren't exactly 3 minutes get in, get out. You know what I mean? Because we're a tiny channel. And I like that. I like the fact that we've got that personal touch. But again, this feels like if you can work out what your unique strategy is, what your unique element is that you are bringing to the manufacturer, I think that will help. Because it might well be that you're like, look, I can't order 250,000 units of this at the moment, but I am looking for a manufacturer to grow my business with, and we can look longer term and all of this. So yeah, look into that. The obstacle at the moment, we've got the Page of Wands. Okay, now pages are youthful, naive, youthful information. Now, this could be you, okay? Wands represent confidence, self-esteem, security, all of that sort of thing. Very rarely for me does it represent bricks and mortar security. It normally represents how you see yourself, how you feel yourself, how, you know, your vibe. Now, you can see there's a light bulb. So this person's had an idea. So it's good for that, right? The wand is here. The wand isn't lit. It's a fire element. So it's an idea. So this is really good, but this is an obstacle. So it may well be, and this is why I'm saying going forewarned is forearmed, because it may well be that your idea needs a bit of work or might be something that isn't entirely practical. So go in with an open mind and be prepared for them to say all the reasons why this is a stupid idea, right? Write them all down. Have some thoughts in the back of your head as to if they say, I don't know, say it's a new blusher that you want to make, right? A new formulation of blusher. Then you say, yeah, everybody used powder blusher until cream blushers came along. Everybody used, you know, liquid foundation until powder foundation came along, or vice versa. You know, there's things like that that you can say it's an innovative idea. So just bear in mind, this is coming up in the obstacles. So it could be your age goes against you. The fact that you aren't an established, you know, business person could go against you. So just be aware of that. Like they might try, because of this inequality, they might try and take advantage of your newness into the field. The judgment is really interesting coming up as the how to overcome this. And that's basically rising up and having faith in your idea, having faith in yourself. If I show you, I haven't done this so far tonight, have I, with the other cards? If I show you what the standard justice looks like, sorry, not justice, judgment, it's this. So you've got this idea of being called at the end of days. So it's this idea again of like, they're all being called, all the souls are being called up to somewhere else. But this is that idea that you are able to stand strong, stand tall in your faith in this product. Okay, so that is how you get over this obstacle. If they say to you, especially if this is something completely new to the market, you say, look, yes, it hasn't been made before, but before somebody made, you know, I don't know, selenite wands, before a carved rounded selenite wand became a thing, they were just these blocks that were chipped. Somebody had to make the first one. So bear that in mind. Have faith in your idea. And that would basically say to me, don't be afraid if the first manufacturer says, oh no, don't be afraid. Make sure you've got patents and all of that shit, but don't be afraid to go to other manufacturers if need be. And my darling, I hope that helps. I am dead intrigued. Don't put in the chat, don't say what it is or any of that, don't give away any trade secrets, but if you ever get to the point where you're ready to go to market and you want some testers, let me know. Not, you know, product testers. So yeah, right then, hopefully that makes sense. You don't have a lot of money going in, that's correct. You full belief in this product, so that yes, 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 yes. Snaps. Is that what they do? Snaps to you. Yes, absolutely. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. Boy, you gotta keep the faith. Bit Bon Jovi there. Yeah, absolutely, my darling. Keep the faith. Right then, hope that helps. I really hope it helps. Dead intrigued to what it is. But don't forget, my darling, when you're ready to go to market, let me know. Wheel of Fortune, what's that? What's the Wheel of Fortune, Neil? Thanks, Ellis. You love how distracted I get and go off on tangents. It's like seeing yourself in third person. ADHD in motion. Yeah, it is. I am very much that. Very much that. Right then. No problem. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's the spirit. Good luck. Yes. Right, my darling. We've got a few new people in. Listen, how it works on this channel is I'm about to open up a round. Right. When I do that, that's the time to put your question into. I can't see now. Put your question into the live chat, starting with the word question. If you go ahead and do that, I will pick one of those at random. I basically take my specs off so I can't see bugger all, run the mousy picking wheel, this thing, run it up and down. The question wheel, the wheel of fortune. That's what Neil was saying. Could be. That's not a bad idea. I like pick wheel because it's simple. So we do that on the thing, right? And I grab one of them at random. So if you would like a reading, that's how you get a free one. If not, you can always go across here to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, where you can, in fact, queue jump. Yeah, you can queue jump over there for £4, and that will get you your reading. And as always, any money that we make on tarot, not just on this channel, but on Fiverr, any money that we make, 10% goes to Fight Bladder Cancer UK and 10% goes to Action Bladder Cancer, the two cancer charities that helped me out last year when I was going through bladder cancer. So then, if you don't know what all that was, if that was too many words in a big jumble, this video will make it make sense. By the way, get your questions in now. I'll be picking a question after this. Okay, right then, let's have, hang on, I've got to turn the, I'm so blind these days without me specs. I seem to have aged about 20 years in the last 3, since COVID, since bloody COVID and fibro and everything else. I am now ridiculously unable to see. Right then, oh no, I didn't even turn the banner off, did I? Thank you. Right then, let's have a look. So, scrolling. And we're going with this. Who is it? Sad Girl. See? Told you, keep putting it in. Sad Girl. Question: do you see me getting a degree in cybersecurity? Hang on a second. Or alternatively called fuck thing. That shit thing. I don't know what that means, Patricia. Don't know what that means. Sad Girl, let's have a look. Do I see you getting a degree in cybersecurity? If you've asked a question, hang on in there. We've still got 36 minutes, so we'll probably get at least 3 more readings. Maybe. Again, I can't judge time. I don't know what time is. It's a foreign concept to me. What are you doing, Lisa? Click on the... It's because I'm trying to click on 3 different things at once. Sorry, everyone. I've had coffee and energy drink, and it's not helped today. Normally it helps focus me, but it hasn't done today. Right then, is that the right way up? If I put that there, it will do. Right, okay. So then, Wispy, Sad Girl would like to know, do we see them getting a degree in cyber security? So do we see Sad Girl getting a degree in cyber security? Let's have a look. La, 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 la. Get in there. Right, I'm going to try, because the cards are a wee bit temperamental. So we're going to do a riffle, try and get them back into some semblance of order. Thank you very much, cards. Oh, that's, yeah, no, that's not, look at that. That is shit. Why do a riffle on camera, Lisa, when you know you can't do a riffle shuffle? I don't like the way they're bending. I don't know why that is. Can you see that they're like slightly curving? I don't like it. I don't like it. It's making it harder to shuffle. Oh, we've had a card flip. Right. 8 of Pentacles. Lots of work, Sad Girl. Lots and lots and lots of work. Burning the candle at both ends. You've still got a massive, massive journey to go on with this. So I don't know. Here we go. Let's do the drop. I don't know where you are in your university journey, but oh, the reverse moon isn't good to start off with, my darling. 6 of Cups. Right then. Yeah. Let me lift it up a little bit and move it slightly so you can see. Right, so the Eight of Pentacles is basically saying there's a lot of work ahead, right? You're just, let's be honest, a fuck ton, a metric fuck ton of work ahead, right? You are nowhere near finished with this. So if you haven't started this degree, then it's going to be a lot tougher than you think, because this is coming out as your clarifying card overall. Okay, now in the where you are now position, we've got the moon, and the moon in this case is reversed. So this is really talking about, if I show you the standard moon, this is really talking about, hang on, there you go, that's the standard moon. Look, this time the moon is this, has got this figure in this wooded area, and the full moon is all the way, it's obviously a gorgeous full moon, but this figure is alone, and this is talking about intuition. So there's something here about, I wonder why you are doing this degree, because it feels counterintuitive to what you should be doing. And I don't know what you should be doing. And again, you make all your own decisions about your own life, my darling, but it does feel like this might not be the path for you. Whether that is talking about the degree in cybersecurity, or whether it's talking about like the degree or the subject. Do you know what I mean? So it could be that there's a little bit of a uncertainty here. When we look at the obstacle, when we look at the what you need to know, we got the Knight of Swords. So swords is trouble and strife, which we know, but it's also the element of air, which is also connected with ideas, thoughts, all of that. The Knight is talking about rushing in where angels fear to tread. It's that teenage energy of making very quick, very rash decisions. Coming up with this card is literally screaming that actually maybe this cybersecurity degree might not be the right move. Okay, so I don't know whether you've started this course yet, whether it's something that you are planning for the future, whether you're halfway through, but it kind of feels like the decision was made in a rush, literally got a rushing cycle here, but also it feels like this idea is maybe one that you've jumped on and then can't back out of very easily. Do you get what I mean? Now, in terms of the what you need to know, in terms of the degree with this, I think the amount of work, because the Eight of Pentacles is so much burning the candle at both ends to get things done, I question whether you knew or know how much work, study, knowledge there is involved in this degree course, because it kind of feels like it's one of those, it feels like the thing that I would do, right? And so it feels like, and I'm not saying you've done this, but this is what I would absolutely do, right? I would watch one of those NCIS, CSI, SUV, PCP, JAV, whatever they're called. You know, those police police procedural things where they're like, let's zoom and enhance. There's this speck of hair. Can we find out? Oh, and we've narrowed it down to these 15 people, and zoom and enhance. And they're all doing the whole, I've got the genetic testing. We've got it like 10 minutes later. All of that, right? It's like I would watch one of those. Is that it goes, and then it's like, yeah, all of that. I would watch one of these, right? And then I would go, oh, I can do that. I want to be a CSI SUV investigator or whatever it is, right? I want to do that. I want to do the Navy, I'm getting so confused that I don't watch normal telly, so this is why I'm confused, right? But I want to do that. And then I would go, if I was still young, I'd go, I've got my A-levels. I want to go and do this. I can go, well, not called A-levels anymore, Lisa, because you're old. But anyway, I'd be like, oh, I've just watched 7 seasons of SUV Miami or PSQ London or whatever the fuck it's called, right? I can go and do this crime investigation, and I'd go off and do this, and then I'd be like, oh no, it's not for me. But I'd be stuck, right? This is absolutely true. I started before I did my A-levels. Before I did my A-levels, I started a health and social care BTEC back in the day, right? That shows how old I am. And I thought that is what I was going to do. Health and social care. Yep, that's definitely what I'm going to do. I hated it. Hated it. It was not for me. Absolutely not for me. So it's the sort of thing that I've absolutely done. Now, I'm not saying you have done that, but it's got that sort of vibe where it's like there's so much here. Oh, hang on. I've just crumpled my thing. There's so much here going on, my darling, that with the moon reversed and the eight of swords, sorry, the eight of pence, it feels very much like there's more to it than you realize. Put it that way. In the opportunity, we've got the Six of Cups. Now, sixes for me are talking about security. No, they're not. Community and sort of the people around you. So it could be loved ones. It could be, you know, the students, the college, the uni, you know, faculty. The sixes are very much about that. And the cups is very much about emotions. So I think, I don't know whether you need to ask the people around you, the people if you're at college or anything like that, ask the very hard question. Do you think I'm going to be able to do this? Right? Do you think I am capable of doing this? Do you think I'm capable of the workload from where I'm starting right now? Do you think I can complete this degree? Ask their advice, my darling. That's what I would do. Ask their advice, because it feels very much at the moment that this might not be the right path that you're on. Okay. And again, you make all your own decisions about your own life, my darling. But it does feel like this might not be your best path. I don't know what that would be, but it feels like this might not be your best path. Hopefully that helps, said girl. I really, really, really hope that it's given you at least something to think about and some guidance, even though I waffled on about, don't get me wrong, BTEC in health and social care was great, you know, just not for me. It was a good course, but it just wasn't for me. Yeah. It's a lot of work. Yeah, you understand, you know, right? Yeah, okay, my darling. Well, just as I say, ask the people around you and the people at college. Maybe ask some of the people that have done the course, or maybe some of the people that have, the teachers, the tutors. Ask them from where you're coming in from, and ask some cybersecurity folks like what the level of education is that they need, because you might not need a degree. Like, you might start at a lower level and be able to progress in the job if you've got a passion in that. A friend of mine ended up working for a very important company that did all sorts of things with national security and all sorts, and he is the least likely person you would ever think of that would be, you know, national security protected and all of that stuff, but his expertise and knowledge was something that they want. Done that again, you know. His expertise and knowledge was something that they wanted, and they, you know, his career path took him in those ways. Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your question, and I hope that helps. Right, we've got 25 minutes. We can get at least 2, if not 3, if I stop waffling. So go ahead and put your questions in the live chat. We're going to go ahead with another round. Here's the banner. Let's go ahead and put the video on. So if you would like a question, go ahead, put it in the live chat. Start your question with the word question. If you'd like to guarantee your reading is next, go across to buymeacoffee.com/BeyondAuthentic, where you can queue jump for just £4 in the UK or £3 if you are a member. Thank you very much to all the members. Hang on, there we go. Thank you very much to all the members that have been supporting and continue to support the channel. You pay for things like the streaming software that I'm using now, the editing software, or you pay a bit towards it because that's just gone up. But yeah, you help, and it's amazing, and I thank you all. You're all wonderful. Anyway, let's go ahead and open a round. Okay, it looks like I've got one question. Okay, well, that makes things easy. Ellis, my darling, you're up. Should I continue in the career field I am in? Ed? Should I continue in the career field I'm in now, culinary, or switch back to my other passion as my health is getting difficult? You have AS. Not sure what AS is, my darling, but okay. I will ask the dragons. Give me just 1 second to turn this ticker tapey banner off the bottom. There we go. Right then. So, dragons. Ellis, who I met. We met at the tarot event. So you were there, Wispy. You met Ellis. I know, right? Hang on. No, that's the microphone. So it goes there like so. Ellis would like to know, should they continue in the career field they're in now, or switch back to their other passion, which was as their health is getting difficult? So that's what we want to know, dragons. Is should I'll tell you what, I've got the option A, option B, and potential decider. We'll go with that, Ellis, if that's okay. So then, Wispy, right, option A, option B, and then decider or tiebreaker if it needs it. So then, sorry, Wispy, sorry, I played your music, I didn't ring your bell. Sorry, my fault. Never mess with an angry air dragon, because they get round your neck and then feels like you've got the hairs on the back of your neck going up. Right then, so let's have a look. Should Ellis continue in the career field that they're in, or should they switch back to their other passion as their health is getting difficult? Let's have a look. Right, we haven't had a card jump. That makes life easier. Right then, let's do your drop. There we go. So then, option A, we'll call option A the stay where you are. Ooh, justice reversed. There we go, option A. Option B is your other passion. Ooh, there's a lot of passion there, 10 of wands. And the decider, or if we need a tiebreaker, the 7 of pentacles. Right, so then let's have a look. First of all, we've got the justice card coming up depicting option A. Now, justice is an interesting card. If I show you it, the standard justice, you've got the idea of Our Lady Justice with her eyes closed. She's holding the sword. She's got the scales of justice. It's a very traditional one. That's what you'll see in courts and things. But this version of the card is a little bit different because, yes, we've still got, you know, the justice character here with the House of Law, but the sword here is ethereal and they're weighing a feather and a heart. So you've got ideas and emotions that are being weighed up. This justice isn't blind. I don't know if you can see that. Their eyes are not shut. Their eyes are actually open. But this is reversed, which means option A is very much sticking where you are in your field. It feels like it would be an injustice, if that makes sense. It almost feels like, and again, I don't know what the health issue is, but it almost feels like they're not able to make, not reparations, what's it called, adjustments, and they're not able to make the necessary easing of things for your health. Does that make sense? Again, I'm not sure what it is, but it kind of feels like, because right, okay, I don't know whether this connects, but under the Disability Discrimination Act in the UK, companies have to make reasonable adjustments to their business for employees and customers alike, right? So if you are working somewhere, if you're in the culinary field, if you're working in a kitchen and you need, I don't know, you need to not be around people, or you need to wear noise cancelling headphones or something like that to try and help, but that means that, you know, the chef can't shout at you orders when you're frying a chicken or whatever it is that you do in the culinary field, right? Then that company by law should make reasonable changes to enable you to work there. The fact that this is coming out reverse is saying that it almost feels like whatever your health thing is, that they're not able to do that in your case, right? So it could be if you've got, for example, I've got fibromyalgia, so I have to plan very, very, very carefully if I've got an event, which is why I don't have a lot of events in my calendar, because in the run up to it, I get very stressed, I get very anxious, I get very overwrought. It affects my sleeping, it affects everything, which affects my ability to control my pain levels, which just affects everything. So for me, having a 9-to-5 job is virtually impossible unless it was a work from home, you know, whenever I feel up to it type thing. So in a kitchen environment, that's no good for me, right? And they could make, there's no way they could make the reasonable things under the law for me to be able to work there. So again, depending on what your health condition is, it could be that this is saying they're not going to be able to do that. And I don't know why I immediately jumped to this legal element of it, that there's just no way, because to make the concessions, that's the word I was looking for, to make the concessions that you would need is beyond the reasonable banner, right? It's the same reason why some old buildings don't have wheelchair access, because they say, oh, actually, it's a listed building, or we can't put a lift in, or blah, blah, blah. They come up with all these excuses. In the option B, which is your passion, so whatever that is, right, there's a warning with this card. On the surface, reversed upright, this is really great, but the way that I read the 10s is a little bit different to most other tarot. In fact, the way I read every card is different to most other tarot readers. So for me, the 9 of Wands would have been the preferred card here, because that would have said you're following through with your passion. Everything is great. You know, you're fulfilling your heart's desire. For the 10, the caveat is, Ellis, that I wonder if this passion is enough to provide you an income, enough to provide you a career, enough to provide you with all of that. Does that make sense? Like, it's not just something you really love and you enjoy, because the 10 can veer from super confidence, it can veer into arrogance, or it can veer into that sort of, you know, I know it all, I know what I'm doing. So just be aware of that, right? The decider is really interesting, because we've got the 7 of Pentacles. Now, if we put this in between both cards, it tells its own little story. So the 7 of Pentacles means that we aren't done yet, right? There is still something going. There is still something growing. There is still something missing, right? But this 7 of Pentacles is talking about growing these pumpkins, gourds, squashes, growing these and growing the plant, growing that element long term. Okay, so you're not necessarily thinking just about this season, you're thinking about crop rotation, you're thinking about next season, what you're going to put in the beds, all of that. So this card is talking about longer term growth, longer term wealth in terms of the Pentacles. So it's basically saying, what do you see? The question being, what do you see your longer term growth potential in, and something that is going to be sustainable for career wise, financially? Because if you think that the position you're in now, the health, the culinary position, if you think this is something that long term you're going to be able to sustain physically, and that's going to keep you in, you know, a roof over your head and everything else, then that's great, carry on. However, if that isn't going to be possible in the long term, then that automatically means that this card is almost out of the equation. And then you look at it for the passion project. Is this something that you are going to be able to make ends meet with? Is this something that you are going to cover your rent, cover your bills, cover your food, all of the rest, leave you some money for splurges, everything else? Is this something that is going to get you there? Whichever one, that the decider is going to be about your longer term goals, because we've only got the 7, and your longer term financial stability. Okay, so whatever it is for you, whichever one of these 2 options rings truest with that caveat of this card, that is what the cards are saying. Now, it may well be that this is a head and heart situation, but logically, you are the only one who will know physically if you can continue doing this, or whether this passion project is going to be enough to sustain you through financially. Hopefully that's helped make the decision a little bit easier, my darling. I really, really hope that helps. Thank you very much for your question. And yeah, it was, it's always lovely to see people that I've met in person on the live streams. So yeah, thank you ever so much for popping in. And I hope that helps. I really do, Ellis. I hope that helps. Best of luck, whatever it is you are going through, my darling, whatever these options are, the very, very hugely best of luck. Right, let me have a look in the live chat, because I've seen lots of comments coming in. Oh, dropped a thingy. Right, let me have a look. Oh, Patricia's talking to Renata. Oh, hang on. AS is ankylosing spondylitis. Oh, Zach from the Try Guys has that. Ankylosing spondylitis. Yeah, he has that. It's a pain condition and autoimmune condition. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm sorry you're going through that, my darling. That sounds awful. That does sound like shit. But yeah, hopefully that reading's helped in some way. But yeah, thank you very much for your question, Alice. Right then, I did waffle, so we've got time for one more question. As always, one more question. So if you would like a tarot reading, go ahead and for the last time tonight, put your question in the live chat, starting with the word question. If you would like to guarantee your reading is next and probably going to be the last one tonight, then do please go to buy me a coffee /Beyond Authentic, where you can in fact buy me a coffee and hit the Q jump button. It costs £4 in the UK, £3 to members. I don't know what it is in all the other currencies. That's the word I was looking for. But yes, if you would like a reading, do the thing at the bottom of the screen to take a risk. I will grab one of those at random. If you want to guarantee it, pop up here, and then that's the way to guarantee you are next. Right then, everybody, you've got about 40 seconds. It's all right, love. Don't worry. I'm just talking to Rufus. 30 seconds from now, we'll get the next reading up. Okay, right then. Let me click on the comments. Hang on. Let me take the banner off because I will forget. So there we go. What should we? Oh, hang on. Hold on. Here we go. So then let's have a look at where's the comments. Right. These are the comments. So let me have a look and we will go through. We will click on, click on this one. MK, question, why a new text and then, oh, hang on. Why is a new text and then removed after I reply? Long time back after he blocked me. Is it a mistake? We'll have a look for you, my darling MK. We'll have a look for you, my darling. So we're bringing the card cam for the last time this evening. If you have missed out on readings tonight, I will be back on Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. UK time. Or you can always go across to Buy Me a Coffee up there, where you can, in fact, book a reading. Or you can also do it on, if I click off here, you can go to my website just there. Look at that. There, just there. It's like it's there in person. It's not. There's nothing here at all. Look. But you can go to beyondauthentic.co.uk and find more details of where I'm going to be personally, and also book readings and things there as well. Right then, so Wispy, my darling, for the last time this evening, MK would like to know why did Anu text and then remove after they replied? A long time back after they were blocked. So basically, Anu has blocked MK and then unblocked them, sent a message, and then blocked again. That's what we want to know. Was it a mistake? Let's have a look. So what is going on here in terms of Anu messing around with MK? Let's have a look. So then, we haven't had a card flip. So then, Wispy, what do you think? What do we think is happening? There we go. Nice drop. So let me have a look. Let me have a look. Oh, the moon again. She's come up several times. Right. The Knight of Wands and the Chariot. Wow. So, right. Okie dokie. Oh, I don't think you're going to like the reading, MK, my darling, but I'm going to give it to you as factually and straightforward as I can. So the moon, this is what the standard moon looks like, a little bit more like that. In this deck, the moon is a bit of a lonely figure. So this is where you are now, right? A lonely figure. So this is, again, talking about intuition, spiritual connections, all of those things. Now it's reversed. I think that you were doing much better before you had all this message come through, right? I think you'd moved on or started to move on. Things were going in the past. And then all of a sudden, it's kind of come up. And I think that you were like, I'm not sure. And then as soon as you hit send, you were like, oh, I shouldn't have messaged. I shouldn't have messaged. Bollocks. Why did I do that? Should not have messaged. Damn it. Because this card is talking very much about kind of not following your gut instinct in this case. Okay, so I think your gut instinct was telling you, no, don't answer, Anu, don't answer, don't reply, and then you've gone send, and then now you're like, oh, it's opened up all these old emotions. Do you know, sometimes opening up old wounds is the worst thing we can ever do, especially once they've started to heal, because then you're cutting through scar tissue and everything else, and it can be absolutely horrendous to then deal with. And when you're dealing with emotional wounds, I think that's the same thing. So I think where you are now, I think you know that this was probably an error as soon as you sent it, but this feels like why you did it, right? Because I think you had unfinished business with Anu. This is what the cards are telling me, because we've got the Knight of Wands here. Now, this isn't Knight of Cups, but I think it wasn't your heart that was like, oh, but I really like him, and oh, you know, he's so lovely, and I really want to be with him. No, I think it was your ego, because Wands is your confidence, sense of self. I think your ego was like, oh, he's replied, right, or he's sent me a message, I'm going to reply, because I think your ego was like, actually, the way that ended, the way things went, actually, I want some answers. And so you sent it. The Knight is that very teenage energy. You sent the reply, even though your best gut instinct was saying, don't do this. And your ego was like, no, actually, I want to know what happened. And I know you're coming back to me because you knew it was wrong and you know that I'm best. Blah, 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 blah. And I think that's what happened, because it really does feel like what you need to know. This wasn't your head or your heart. This was the ego answering, which is why now when you're like, oh, he's blocked, is it a mistake? You know it's a mistake because you've got this card here. You know it is, but it's left you kind of, at the time, it was like, well, I have to respond to this. You know what I mean? In the opportunity, we've got the Chariot, right? Now, this is a different Chariot to the one you often see. You often see the Chariot like this. So a victor with a nice cape and canopy on a what's it called? On a chariot, literally on a chariot being driven. Now, this chariot is a bit different because it's a more modern deck, but we've still got the light and the dark. On the standard decks, you see the black and the white sphinxes. So we've got the roller skates here, or the roller boots. And this person is going on this journey. We've got victory, because I don't know whether you can see, we've got the laurel wreaths here around the head. So it's that same victorious thing that they're talking about. But this card was reversed, which means this journey, this movement that you need to go on, I think this is something now that you have been stuck with. I think you have not moved on from this relationship or this connection with Anu. And I think the minute that he sent you a message, you've gone straight away, text, or tappy, typey, and then you've got blocked. And this should be your inner gut. You know what I'm saying is right, because I can feel it right now. Your inner gut is going, yeah, see, told ya. But this is your opportunity now to move forward and move away emotionally and egotistically away from Anu, and to actually move forward in a better way. And I hope, my darling, that helps. Was it a mistake? Probably, but in the long run, it's taught you that you do need to move on. So in that case, this is a mistake that is best to learn now rather than later. And that's your reading, my darling. I really hope that it helped. I hope it brought you some closure. And yeah, my advice, cut your losses, move on. And you know what? Why don't you block him? Why don't you block him? That way he can't message you and he can't dangle that carrot, that ego gratification. Let it go. As a famous Disney princess once said. But anyway, that is it, my darling. Hopefully that all helps. That all makes sense. And yes, thank you very much, everybody who asked questions. Thank you very much. He's reeled you back in, my darling. MK, he's reeled you back in. If you keep doing that, you're always going to be stuck in this cycle, my darling. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. But anyway, I hope that helps. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, everybody who are the members. You can find their names scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Nanette and Jack are here. Hello, Nanette and lovely Jack. Ruff, ruff, ruff to Jack. Ruff to Jack. Ruff, ruff. Jack, yes. So then, everybody, thank you so much, everybody, for being here tonight. Thank you for the moderators. Thank you to all my wonderful channel members who are scrolling at the bottom of the screen. If you would like to be part of the Coffee Club crew, the memberships, you can do so by joining over here. But that is going to be it tonight. We are back on Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. UK time. And don't forget, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m, Halloween is in the shops. Halloween is in the shops. I've done my first Halloween video showing you what is in brand new this season in B&M in the UK. That is out now, so go and check that. The video will be up at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then members, you will get told at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. You should get the email coming out, or you might even get it tonight if I get off my fat ass. Then you'll get the message going out tonight about Wednesday's video when I went to a different shop with more Halloween stuff in, and I might have actually bought something. So yeah, you'll find out. That video will be coming out Wednesday, and then there'll be another one on Friday. I know, right? It's like Halloween is here already. It's not. We're just inching into September, but it's close. Anyway, I will see you all again very soon. Don't forget, please check out the website. If you can, go and see where I am going to be and what I'm doing in real life, in person. And yeah, I'll see you all again very soon. Don't forget, Sunday and Tuesday, 7 p.m. UK time. That's it for me tonight. And I hope that whatever the cards bring you, whatever the fates have in store, I hope you face it with an open heart, an open mind, and with authenticity. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.